Hi, everybody. I'm so excited today because I am with a warrior, a health and fitness warrior, Dave Blondin, who is the owner of Prime Fitness and Nutrition in Oxford, Massachusetts. And he went against the governor's orders and has kept his gym open. And me being in the fitness industry for my entire life, I am so excited that someone has stepped forward to do that because all of us fitness family people know how imperative and important fitness is to our life. And if you take that away from us, it's like taking away a part of who we are. So, Dave, if you could just kind of give a background history of what happened. So when the coronavirus hit, obviously, I think everybody shut down for that 2 weeks. But then you opened back up in May, is that correct?
I did, yes. Yep. So basically what happened is, we were one of the last gyms in Massachusetts to, close. I did whatever I had to do to keep things open until the full shutdown came along. About 6 weeks went on, and between my clients and, a lot of people reaching out of their mental health, really, really suffering, I could feel it personally, and I had to do something. So I decided to open up on May 18th, regardless of what Baker's orders were going to be. And the response that I got back was incredible. I would say probably a good 90% of people supported me. There was a small percentage that had some hate mail and stuff in there, but at the same time, they weren't fitness people, so they didn't understand. We did stay open for just members, and that was kind of hard for people to accept. We had hundreds and hundreds of people calling looking to sign up, but we refused to let anybody join because we had to kind of play by the books and see what this was about. But in my opinion, you can't pull fitness away from people for many reasons, not just weight loss, mental health, people that were big alcoholics, started drinking again, drug addiction, anything along those lines. And I truly don't think that they understand how important fitness really is in all aspects.
Right, okay. Awesome, that's so awesome. So when you opened back up, and then the town came after you?
Town came after me. The first day they gave me a warning, and I had already vowed that I am going to take this all the way to the end, and I am not going to shut down. In my eyes, I looked at, I've been working on this business since I was 21 years old, so going on about 10 years now, and I was not going to let anything go. I was willing to get arrested, to pay any fines, do whatever I had to do to keep things open, because this is my baby. This is my business for everything, and I care so much about my clientele that I couldn't stand to see them suffer any longer.
So what law did they say that you were breaking?
That's the thing. When I confronted the health department, there was no law to be broken, and I knew that deep down. And to be honest, I was never a big history person. I never really looked into things, but things started to come to me very easily, almost along the lines of a common sense thing that something was wrong. I knew what they were doing was not right, and I said in multiple media outlets, I said I don't feel like I'm doing anything illegal. I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong. I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
So what were the fines then? How could they fine you?
So the fines, first of all, they're civil fines, and the way I looked at things was I had a GoFundMe account that supported through people all over the world. To see donations from all separate states all over the place was awesome. But I would rather fight a fine in court than lose my business. And it kind of blows my mind that in any industry, restaurants, that people could just stand there and just watch their businesses collapse. Instead of fighting what they built for. And, some people, yes, I've been in business for 10 years, but what about the people that have been in business for 30, 40 years, their whole lives, and they just watch their business crumble in front of them? So I care, about my business and my clientele, and I have no problem speaking out and giving my opinions. But I think a lot of people are just scared, and they don't know what others are going to think, and they think they're actually going to lose business from it. But to be honest, we are the busiest we have ever been just by standing out. And, it was kind of almost like a free self-promotion for everything,
Right. So you didn't lose any members?
I'm sure there are some members that never came back because of everything, but we have gained more members than have lost. So, which is a really good thing to do. I can't think off the top of my head of as far as any loyal members that have been here for a long time that are gone. All the originals that have been with me since the beginning are all still here.
Awesome. And is masks are optional? Is that correct?
Masks are optional. To be honest, I don't recommend them, but it's your choice. You want to wear a mask? Go for it. To be honest, out of the close to 700 members that we do have here, maybe 3 or 4 people wear a mask in total. And even still, I still see them pulling it down here and there, and they're not keeping it on through their workout anyways. So.
And just me, I've been a nurse in the state of Massachusetts going on 25 years. I would never, ever recommend anyone wear a mask while they're exercising. That could actually get you very sick. And you could get lightheaded and faint. And I've seen a lot of people in gyms doing cardio, breathing their mask in and out, and then what happens, it gets all sweaty, and then it gets heavy, and you're actually just breathing in your germs. So I don't recommend it. I've also interviewed Tammy Clark, who is the OSHA expert. She is the expert on masks and would never recommend.
To Superior Court so far, which honestly, at that early in the game, I don't think any judge wanted to make that decision, and they just kind of followed what things were going on. But as far as court cases in the past couple months, every time we've had court, they've asked for an extension, and they kept pushing it off and pushing it off and pushing it off. And going back to December with the last court case, the town actually asked for an extra 90 days, and my attorney said, this is the last time, we're going to give you 45 days, and then we're going to continue doing what we have to do.
Okay, so what does that mean, 45 days?
So basically, I think what the town is trying to do is I think they're trying to sweep it under the carpet. They knew they were wrong, but at the same time, I think they pushed it too far, thinking they were going to become heroes. They were going to be well known. They were going to be, the top town in Massachusetts or the country that, we proved a point. They used me as an example, but no matter what, I was not standing down, and there is way more of us than there is of them.
That's right. We want to make that a point because we are the people. We are the 99%, and we do not need to comply because these aren't laws. They're basically suggestions. And no governor can make a law. So when he says mandates, he's suggesting that you wear a mask outside. He's suggesting that you shut down your business. But there is no law that you're breaking when you say, no, I'm not going to shut down my business. So how much do you owe right now, and what are the fines?
So they started off at $300 a day. And with that, people were coming in. My loyal gym members were all vowing to pay each fine. Some donated $600 on the spot. Some donated $1,000. Some didn't care. Then it went up to $1,000 a day, and then they tried pushing it to $2,000 a day. No number was ever going to scare me. It's not about money. It's, things can be paid and money can be made back if I was to ever have to pay those. I will not have to pay those. I refuse to pay them. There's about $20,000 in fines, I want to say, maybe a little less, a little bit more. Honestly, I never really kept track of it because to me, it doesn't mean anything.
Right. Yeah. And what are they fining you for? I mean, what is the citation? What are they saying?
Violating the governor's orders. So when you look at that, violating an order is not a law. And this came very common sense to me. I didn't have to think very, very hard to actually figure out what was actually going on. Some people, unfortunately, are still really confused on what's going on and have no idea what's happening. But I've talked to many, many businesses over the course of the past 2 months looking to defy orders and stuff like that, and kind of explained to them, I said, there's going to be pushback. They're going to try to do whatever they have to do, but stand your ground and support and do your business. People will, if more restaurants and more places would just open up without restrictions, the place would be flooded. People's businesses would thrive so far, and I cannot emphasize that enough.
Right. So like you said, it's almost like an advertisement for your business. So I hope you're talking to people from Massachusetts. Thank goodness, because I don't have hope for Massachusetts.
Massachusetts is it's an interesting state, but I've heard of people. They've actually contacted me through through this whole thing and said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to fight back. And as soon as that health department shows up, they back right down, which is sad to hear. But I had no problem just saying, no, absolutely not. Do whatever you got to do to me. I will not shut my doors.
Now, have you always been that type of person where you just kind of stick up for yourself, you stick up for other people? Is it that type of your personality that kind of just comes natural to you?
I definitely make my own decisions. I definitely believe in what I believe in, and I have no problem speaking my mind to an extent, of course. I don't care what others think. Some might disagree, and that doesn't bother me. And I think that's a big thing with a lot of people around the world is they care what others think. But I did what was right, and people appreciated it.
Oh, that's so awesome. So I'm sure the members are so ecstatic that you kept open. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the people, even if somebody just is thinking about even opening a business? Maybe like me, I've always wanted to have a little training studio. What would you just say to someone who's just thinking of opening or wanting to reopen their business?
So you got to think outside the box. You got to be different. So you got to think of all these chain businesses that are around the world, Walmart's, all that kind of stuff. They all do the same thing. Where your business is going to thrive is when you're different. When you do things that not your average person is going to do, people will see that and they will follow. So anybody willing to open their business, open a new business, just know you got to go in with a mindset that this is going to be your number one priority. You have to do what you feel is right, and you have to do what you feel others are going to be right too.
All right, that is so awesome. Well, Dave, I am so proud of you. You are a warrior to the whole fitness community and beyond. I lost my gym, last year, and I stayed to the very last day, and they shut down. Luckily, we have some fitness equipment at home, and I didn't go back because of the restrictions. I'm not willing to suffocate myself while I'm working out. So,
and that's one thing that I will say too is, people have been walking in here left and right, leaving their gyms, walking out in the middle of their workouts because they were told to put a mask back on, and they refused to, and they walk through the doors and says, "I'm not wearing a mask," and they join here. So I support that. I think it's awesome to look upstairs every night and every day and see so many people just happy and normal and having normal conversations with people and having friends again, and not caution tape in between treadmills or certain machines restricted or shower curtains surrounding benches. That is absolutely disgusting that we know they're not cleaning. So in a way, all these restrictions are causing things to be worse. So in a way, I look at the government as they're trying to get you sick. They're trying to get you unhealthy. They do not want you to know the truth. If the truth was clearly out there, then they would step up there and say everybody needs to be drinking water, exercising, eating their vegetables, eating healthy, taking their vitamins, vitamin C, zinc, vitamin D, all those kind of things that are proven to work. And one thing with the immune system didn't magically change overnight. It still does its thing. I still fully believe in the immune system, and I always will.
yes, as I do, especially as a nurse, even being in the medical side, the people are so sick. And they're not the people that are coming to the gyms, unfortunately. And we need to get more people in shape. And that's my life mission, to get people healthy.
And also from a numbers standpoint, we're just about approaching 100,000 visits to this facility since May, and not one case has contacted back to here.
Yes. Now, what does that say? What does that tell you?
That says that they do not want to see the truth, and you're all seeing it on Facebook and social media now that they're censoring everything that we know is true. They do not want to hear numbers. They do not want to hear that stuff because they're going to be caught in their lie, and it will catch up to bite them. It will catch up to them. They will not get away with this. God will always win.
Amen to that. They locked the doors on you. They shut your water off. They shut your sewer off. What was your response to that, and how did you actually get everything turned back on?
So they're pretty much stuck in a pickle right now. There are actually two businesses here. That's Prime Fitness and then there's Prime Nutrition. Two separate EIN numbers, two separate complete businesses. And in their terms, the nutrition store was essential. in my opinion, also essential. Everybody's essential because everybody is allowed to make a paycheck and make a living. So the judge had ordered them to shut the gym down, not the store down. So where they went wrong, and they shut the entire building down. We lost thousands in inventory, frozen foods, all that kind of stuff. We had shrimp in there that was, shrimp can't stay longer than a day out. So it reeked pretty bad in here, and it took some severe deep cleaning to get rid of the smell and stink that was in here. But they're definitely stuck right now. They definitely made a big mistake by shutting this entire building down. And the fact that that made national news says a lot, saying that, that they shut the power and electricity off. When I pay all my bills, I pay my electricity. If anything, I have my electricity bills paid in advance. So for them to shut things down like that is completely illegal. We will be filing lawsuits against the electrical company, the water company, the town, the state of Massachusetts, and anybody else that we throw in that mix. They will be sued.
I love it. I love that because there's no justification. There's no law. There's no reason why they shouldn't have done that to you. And it's just crazy business. And they pulled their shenanigans, expecting someone to cower to their suggestions and not laws, and they're not going to win. And we need more strong and courageous people to stand up and fight these mandates because they're not going anywhere. Actually, they might be getting worse. So we, the people, need to stand up for our rights. We have rights that nobody can take away. And once we realize that, we will win. We will win. So how did you get your power back on?
So we went to court, and the judge had realized that there was a nutrition store here. They were immediately ordered to open the doors again. That's when I moved the equipment outside. But even going back to before the locks were changed and they shut the water and power off, didn't stop anybody. Everybody kept coming through the doors. I ordered porta potties outside. I had a water tank on the way. We had generators about to be hooked up. We don't need electricity. We don't need lights. We have natural sunlight. We can work out in that. But the fact that they think that was going to solve things, and the fact that they had to change the locks to my very own business. And to be honest, I'm here at my own business more than my own house. So for them to technically lock me out of here is completely illegal no matter what is going on.
Wow. Well, you are, Dave, a man of inner strength, integrity. You're not only standing up for your business, but you're standing up for the community, the fitness people, and really the whole entire nation. You're a great example for what we need to see right now in the world.
And unfortunately, when I did first open up, I did call upon all gyms, fitness studios, anything in Massachusetts to follow my lead. Unfortunately, no one did. There was a gym in Cape Cod that did follow, but they didn't seem to push any restrictions on them, which is good. But the fact that everyone kind of just stood there and let me fight by myself, we'll see how he does. We'll see what happens to him first, But you got to look at things as if every single restaurant in North End opened up, what are they going to do? There's nothing they can do. Again, there's more of us than there is of them. If every gym in Massachusetts opened up, they'd have nothing, and they would have to reverse back on everything. Just like the flu shot mandate, it took them to bring it to court, and they backed right down. So people have to realize how much power we actually do have, and the government works for us. We do not work for them as they think, and which is they're trying to push. So in my eyes, I see a future, hopefully a new government coming into play through this whole shenanigan, and we can take our rights back.
Okay, I want to mention, because you mentioned the flu shot mandate, because I'm a medical freedom activist, and I worked through that whole entire process. They lied. What they did was illegal. The governor had no legal authority to add the flu shot to the school schedule. He had no legal authority to say we have to mandate the flu shot. I could go on and on, but it makes me so mad because they actually lied to us, and some parents gave their kids the flu shot because they felt bullied and coerced. But because they went in with an extremely famous lawyer who knows the law, he found out that what they did was illegal. They didn't go through the legislative process. In order to make a law in the state of Massachusetts, there's a process that needs to happen. They bring the bill forward, they have a public hearing, and then they have to put it through, and it has to go through all these committees and meetings, and then it becomes a law. But that sometimes takes years. Okay, so that whole flu shot mandate was actually illegal, and they lied to us. And I'm going to get to the bottom of that. I got some interviews coming up about that too, because that just makes me, that boils my bones. And I know this is not about this, but we're going to go into that. But it's all the same concept, because they're actually lying to us, and they think we're stupid. But really, everybody, we do have to know our laws, because if we don't know the laws, then they can take advantage of us, because we actually just are following along.
To be honest, in March when they first said that gyms have to close, I immediately thought in my head that, what do you mean I have to close my doors? And I first looked at it as they said, 2 weeks to flatten the curve. And keep in mind where we are in this country right now. This all started with 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and look where we're at now, because we let it happen. And I knew it was wrong in the beginning, and the way I looked at things, all right, it's like 2 weeks, I got a little vacation, that's great. Got some stuff done in the gym, got some projects done, cleaned up. And then after that, enough was enough. I was going more out of my mind by not having business coming in, and not from a money standpoint, but just, mental sanity of that. I'm used to meeting with people on a daily basis. I'm used to seeing a full gym. And to not have that was very depressing to see. And I knew it was wrong in the very beginning, and, luckily I was able to just open up and fight for everybody.
Yeah, so when you have that intuition right from the get-go, something didn't feel right, something's not right, and we figured it out, it is definitely wrong. So would you say that most people came back and they weren't scared to come back, your members?
As soon as they heard that I was opening my doors, the amount of excitement out of people was incredible. And I've honestly never seen anything like it before, for people to walk into the gym and just, a different type of smile, a different type of happiness that isn't their normal kind of feeling, to interact with people that they haven't seen in months. And, it was such a feeling of relief. And even now, with restrictions going on still, so many members email me on a regular basis saying thank you for not having any restrictions, because they'll have a tough day at work. They're, being told to pull their mask up or do this or do that, and then it's even more of a mental relief walking through the doors now as a breath of fresh air, compared to even before of just, your normal working out.
I could tell you, when my husband and I got here, it's like a breath of fresh air. You just feel normal. And it's sad that it's so exciting to feel normal. This is what America is, and this is what we need to get back to. And I appreciate you for working so hard and keeping the gym open and taking the time to sit down with me. And where can people find you if they have any questions about opening their business? Are you giving advice, and how would they get in touch with you?
So by all means, anybody wants to shoot me an email, psnoxford@gmail.com. Look me up on Facebook, Dave Blondin. Follow me on Instagram, Prime Oxford. Anything you need, I'm willing to help anybody, any businesses that are willing to fight back. I have no problem talking with somebody on the phone or through Messenger. Anything you need from me, I'm willing to help.
All right. Thank you so much, Dave.